Hello student, in the C Sharp.net today topic is the how to write the simple program in C Sharp. The few in the very easy way, the very simply program write and execute them, and this will be enabled to analyze and understand how to the C Sharp program is work. It brings many silent features of the C Sharp language you can see in the previous lectures. This is the write the program, class, declare the class, then public static void main, then write their console line. See the one by one how to write the class, then how to declare the main. Firstly, declare the class declaration. The first line class sample1 declares a class which is an object oriented constraint, because why? The C Sharp is an object oriented language. C Sharp is a truly object oriented language. Everything must be placed inside the class. Everything must be declared in the inside the class. Class is a keyword and declared a new class definition. Class name is class sample1. C Sharp is an identifier. Sample1 is a C Sharp identifier. Is identified that sample1 it is a class. Specify the name of the class to be defined. Class is a template for which an object looks like and how it behaves is. The class name is sample. Their opening place. Why declare the class? Because why? C Sharp is truly object oriented language. Therefore everything must be placed inside the class. The everything you can declare their main and then everything declare inside the class. Then write the braces. C Sharp is a block structure language, meaning the code blocks are always the code. Everything the code write in the bracket. The opening brace. This is the opening brace and this is the closing brace. Every class definition C Sharp begins with an opening brace and the ends with an corresponding the closing brace that appears in the last line of the program. This is the opening brace and their closing brace. This is similar the class construct of Java and the C++. Therefore there is no semicolon after the closing of the brace. There is no semicolon after the closing of the brace. Then main method. The third line is public static void main. Defines the method name is main. Every C Sharp executable program must include the main method in one of the classes. This is the starting point for executing the program. A C Sharp application can have any number of classes. C Sharp program application can have any number of classes, but only one class can have the main method. C Sharp application can have any number of the classes, many numbers of the classes, one class, two class, but only one class can have the main method to initiate the execution. C Sharp component libraries will not use. In the last lecture you learned there are the two types of the with use the main and without using the main. In the C Sharp component library will not use the main method. This line contains the number of keywords public, static, void. This is very similar to the main of the C Sharp and the Java compiler. The main has an capital every time. The main write in the capital. The meaning of the in the main, the main method is write their main is in capital. So what is the meaning? The public, why write? The public keyword is the access modifier that tells the C Sharp compiler that the main method is accessible by the anyone. The main method is accessible by the anyone. The second is static. The keyword static declares. The keyword static declares that the main method is a global. The static declares that the main method is a global and one and can be called without creating an instance of the class. The keyword static declare that the main method is a global one and can be called without creating instance of the class. The compiler stores the address of the method as the entry point and uses the information to begin execution before any objects are created. The keyword static declares that the main method is a global one and can be called without creating the instance of the class. Without creating the instance of the compiler store the address of the method and as the entry point and uses the information begin execution before any objects are created. Next is the void. The keyword void is a type modifier that states that the main method does not return any value. The keyword void is a type modifier that states that the main method does not return any value. It is not essential to declare main as a public. However, this is how in the Visual Studio 2005 declares that. Also many authors prefer this approach. We have therefore declared main as a public in your example. Next is the output line, system, console and the write line. You write the line C# is sharper than the C++. This is a output statement of Java and similar to the printf and the cout statement in the C++. In the C# is a pure object oriented language. Every method should be the part of an object. The write line method is a static method. Write line method is a static method of the console class. This is the console class which is located in the namespace system. This line prints the string. Why? The system is a namespace. In this system there is a console class is present and in the console class write line method is present. The method write line always appends the new line character to the end of the string. This means any subsequent output will start and the new line. Every C# statement must end with the semicolon. And also note that there is no semicolon at the end of the class. At the end of the class there is no any semicolon. But in the every C# statement must end with the semicolon. The every C# statement must end with the semicolon. Next is executing the program. After creating the program, their source code, save it with .cs file extension. In the C# program, every program is saved with the .cs file extension in folder your system. You can decide here where you can save it. May use any suitable name for the file. You can use any suitable name for the file. In this case, use the class name itself. The class name is give the sample1 .cs sample1.cs. For compiling the program, go to the folder where you have stored the file sample1.cs and then type the following command. The C# compiler compile your code and create an executable file IL code. IL means intermediate code. There C# code, then there IL code, then their native machine code, and then their output. C# code is saved by the .cs. Then C# compilation, IL code, create their exe file. .exe file and convert into the native compiler. Use JIT compiler. Use here the JIT compiler. JIT compiler means just in time. JIT compiler means just in time compiler, and then execution, here their execution and their output. In the C# program, firstly the C# code .cs file means sample1.cs, and then their IL code is created. IL code they created their exe file. Then their exe file is compiled with JIT compiler. JIT compiler is converted into the native machine code. JIT means just in time, and their native machine code, and create their execution is performed, and then their output is get. Output is C# is sharper than the C++. These types of the output is you have get. Next is namespaces. Namespaces. System dot console dot write line in this you have note that system is the namespace in which the console class is located. Class in a namespace can be accessed using the dot operator. The namespaces are the C# segregates the .NET library classes in the grouping. The write line system is a namespace. Console is there available the class, and in the console class the write line method is available. In this way, the using the system namespaces in which console class is located, the class in a namespace can be accessed. Class in a namespaces. This is console class, and this console class can be accessed using this dot operator. C# supports a feature known as using directory that can be used to import the namespaces using directory, using system import the namespaces system into the program. Once the namespaces is imported, you can use the element of the namespaces without using the namespaces prefix. Here the namespace is used in the prefix, but by default namespace is declared when you write the program, when you start the program. Write using is the directory. Using is the directory. Write the program using namespaces. The program using the namespaces in this way, using system class sample1 public static void main console dot write line hello, and then close here, and then close their class. Using system tells the compiler looks in the system library. The system prefix to the console class in the output line. In the last program, when the compiler presses the console write line method, it will understand that The method is defined, however it will then search the namespaces specified in using. Using is a directory. Upon finding the method in the system namespaces, will compile the code without any complaint. Without any complaint, here you will declare the using system namespaces by using the using system. Using is a directory and system is a namespace. Here you declare system is a namespace. Here you declare their main method. Console it is a class. System it is a namespaces. In the system namespaces, console class is present, and in the console write line is present. Why you write the dot? Dot is used for the accessing the namespaces, accessing their. Why you write console dot? Write line is method is present in the console class. Console class method you can accessing by using the dot operator. Clear? Here the console write line. Here print the hello. Why you write the semicolon? In the C# programming, every statement end with the semicolon. Today close your session. Thank you.